Katie, Michelle, thank you for being here with us. Can you tell us a little bit about the Little Angels service dogs?
Absolutely. So Little Angel Service Dogs is a nonprofit organization. We train dogs for people with disabilities all over the world.
Okay. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Our collaboration and partnership with Little Angels has just been wonderful. The service dogs bring such empowerment to the person that has epilepsy, but also with the families. And the dogs are an inspiration for our employees. In fact, the dog's social media channel is followed more than sometimes our other social media channels. So we just are very grateful for Little Angels. The work they do is outstanding. And honestly, it makes such an impact for these families. Thank you, Katie, for you and all that you do.
Thank you for joining us. It's a group effort.
And Michelle, you're with Neurelis, correct?
I am, yes.
Okay. So, how has it been for you working with Neurelis?
I have had such a wonderful opportunity to work with them because they aren't just a business. It's not just about advertising this or working on that. It's about bringing the community together, and they truly have a heart for the people that have epilepsy. And you can see it in everything that they do. Of course, the dogs are always really exciting and they attract a lot of attention. And I see that with all of the staff at Neurelis. It's the dogs that draw people in, but they really have a heart behind what they do. And you can tell with every action. They're really invested to see how the dogs actually assist. It's not just the cute little face.
You know, learning about how seizure dogs are trained, it's a very intense training, and Katie will talk about that more, I'm sure, in a moment. But Neurelis is that invested. Like, we love to do fun things. And one of the things, Katie, I remember was having a birthday party for Val and Toko. They're the two pups that we sponsored that are now fully trained and in their forever homes. So forever. So, you know, the excitement of the employees when the puppies were coming to the corporate office and they had their pup cakes, it was really wonderful. So Neurelis is vested in this community, and being able to help with the service dogs is just phenomenal. And a little bit about the names, Val and Toko. Neurelis has a product, an immediate use product for seizures and for cluster seizures. And that is why the pups were christened Val and Toko.
Fabulous names. And they totally own it.
Yeah, I bet they do. So what's the difference between a service alert dog and a service response, or seizure alert dog and seizure response dog?
Yeah, so that is confusing. So we could have a dog that is alerting in advance to a seizure, or we could have a dog that is letting someone know that the seizure is actively happening. And it's not actually up to this dog or that dog being able to do it. It's really about what's happening in the patient's brain. If we're looking at clinical seizures and subclinical seizures, some recipients do have seizures that a dog is able to detect in advance, and that would be considered a seizure alert dog. And we do intentionally train them through odor detection to recognize that scent and then to perform a specific behavior. It would just be like a diabetic alert dog or a POTS alert dog, but it's with the scent of seizures. And then we have a seizure response dog. So that dog is responding once the seizure is happening, and they can go let someone know that it is actively happening, and they could go retrieve medication and bring medication back to help them. They could go get a cell phone. There's even an assistance dog phone that dogs can go dial, and of course it's just a game to them, but it's a life-saving game. I mean, the dogs love it. When they go push that button, they're like, whoo, I win a prize. So imagine how excited they are when the seizure is happening, or when they catch the scent that the seizure is going to happen. It's catching the scent that the game is about to start, and they just light up, they run into action, they go dial the phone, they bring the medication, and it actually saved a life.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So how long does it take to train a dog from start to delivery to a family?
It is quite the process. So we usually start early neurological stimulation when our puppies are just 2 days old. And then we continue all of their socialization through puppyhood into adulthood. We have dogs that will go into our prison programs and they're trained by the people that are living there. We have dogs that are trained by volunteer fosters, and then we have professional trainers that shape it all up at the end. That can take 2 to 3 years before a dog is ready to go assist someone with that.
And how many dogs do you have on the training cycle at any given time?
We usually have around 70 dogs,
Okay.
and we're placing around 20 dogs a year.
Okay. And how can others get involved with your organization if they're interested in doing this?
It definitely takes a village, and Neurelis has been so kind to come along with us in this journey. But so many people could get involved. Corporations could come along beside us, and they can help us place these dogs with people who really need them. There's even another service that we're starting where we can have virtual sessions with a family and teach them how their pet can learn to recognize seizures in their home. So it's not that those pets are going to go out into public settings. That's the rare dog. It's really about 1 in 300 dogs that can be a service dog that has public access. But we could show someone how to train a dog in their home. If they could train their dog to get excited about the seizure because they get a special treat every time a seizure happens, they're going to come running when the seizure happens, ready for the treat. I'm ready for the prize. A seizure is about to happen, and boom, you have a dog that's letting you know before it happens.
Right. And what are there certain breeds of dogs that are more able to pick this up more quickly than others and work better as seizure dogs?
Some dogs are more trainable, and if you have a dog that really loves to work for treats, it's great because we have to give them the prize. Nobody works for free. I always say the way to a dog's heart is through their stomach, but any dog could be trained to alert to seizures. Not every dog would be able to go into a stressful environment like going to Costco or going out to Walmart on a Sunday.
Right.
We don't even want to do that.
Right.
So,
You're so right.
yeah, we avoid it. But the dogs have to be able to go into so many different environments. They have to go to school with their children. They have to go to a busy workplace, and they have to be prepared for that. They can't be reactive. And that's why most dogs should not be service dogs, because they just don't have that innate breeding, the innate personality to handle those situations well.
Okay. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to add to this conversation?
You know, I would just like to add that our hope at Neurelis is that other organizations will get involved. It is such a wonderful opportunity, and as Katie was saying, there are other diseases that need service dogs and other industries that can sponsor. Wouldn't it be great if we had Google or Facebook or some of those other big organizations get behind this really wonderful program that does help families? It really helps them, it really helps them feel that they're not alone. Because with epilepsy, folks can feel very isolated. As I said earlier, it empowers both the person with epilepsy and the families and gives them some freedom, right? So an example might be a mom and a daughter. The daughter has epilepsy and the mom's the sole care partner. With a service dog, the mom's empowered to leave the room and go make dinner, knowing that the dog will alert them if there's an issue.
It gives strength to the entire family, not just to that one person. Like, they could be alerted if a seizure is happening at night. So it gives independence to everyone that's in the family, not just the patient.
So what exactly does Neurelis do? I understand you're the service dogs and you work together. What exactly is the focus of Neurelis?
That's a great question, Marianne. Thank you. So Neurelis sponsors two service dogs and gets them through their full training. And our goal is that we really are, as I said, impacting that family. So it's really a sponsorship, and it's not cheap to get
It is
dogs
not.
through training.
2 to 3 years.
Yeah, so a family, an average family could not afford a service dog.
Yeah.
So what we get out of it is the wonderful, uplifting stories. Katie's phenomenal at feeding little tidbits to our employees. And one of the things that intrigued us most, Katie, I don't know if you know this, when we were looking at the sponsorship, was to see that even when the service dogs are in training, they're helping others. As Katie said, they go to a prison.
Exactly.
And they help those inmates. And when I saw that video footage, I was just stunned. So what Neurelis gets from it is a whole ton. We feel great about the sponsorship of the dogs. We know we're helping families. We know within the training we're helping families. And as I said, our employees just love the pups. Love, love, love the pups.
And then, of course, they absolutely love the community.
Abs-
And that's the thing, is that it's the heart of Neurelis, really, truly wanting to help everyone right where they're at, not in just one way. And that's the beautiful thing about the epilepsy community, is that we have so much advocacy, we have education, we have medications, we have neurologists, and we have surgeries and treatments, and we have dogs. But with dogs, that's attractive. People come over to our booth because we've got adorable little puppies. Who wouldn't stop to be able to cuddle with a puppy? But then we get the opportunity to tell them about all the other avenues that they have to be supported. Sometimes they're not even aware that there is a treatment out there, or that there is a medication that could completely change their life. So we do all have to come together, and we have to learn as much as we can. We have to keep up with the medical technology that's out there. So this event is not just for the recipients to learn at that moment, but for all of us to take in as much as we can. Because if we are speaking with someone about what our individual organization can do for them, we can help send them recognize what it is that they might need and help send them to someone else, completely change their life.
Right.
Dogs can help in so many ways. Of course, we are training dogs to alert to seizures and respond to the seizures, but we have autism assistance dogs, mobility assistance dogs, psychiatric service dogs. We've all heard about our veterans coming back and having PTSD and struggling with flashbacks, and just being able to go out into Walmart and having so much activity that it's overwhelming for them. But there's civilians that have PTSD too. There's hearing alert dogs. There's medical alert dogs in so many different capacities. But it's also not just that you can get a dog that's fully trained. There's options where if you learned how to train a dog yourself, maybe you need some professional guidance to do that, because it is 1 in 300 dogs that could help you. But there are these other avenues where you could work with a dog to assist you. Like I was saying, a pet could tell you in your home. If you taught them what to look for, they're just excited to get the prize. And then you know something that you wouldn't inherently know. So dogs have something that's called a Jacobson's organ, so they can smell things in a completely different way. We don't have a Jacobson's organ, so they're going to be picking up on hormones and chemicals that we are completely oblivious to. So as long as we can tap into the special gifts and the special qualities of these dogs, respect them for the beautiful creatures that we are, show them to give us a certain behavior when there is a medical condition where you need an alert, give them a little paycheck for it. It literally can save your life. So I don't want anyone to get discouraged if they're trying to research how to find a service dog. If they contact Little Angel Service Dogs, they could go on our website, littleangelservicedogs.org. We're able to tell them all of the different avenues that they have for a dog to assist them.
And is your organization nationwide, or is it?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, we're nationwide. We actually have 3 regions right now across the United States. So we have dogs in California, we have dogs in Texas, and we have dogs in New England, but we actually serve people worldwide.
Okay. And what are your hopes for your partnership in the future? Where do you want it to go?
I always want to have Neurelis help us.
So do I, Katie. So do I. Always hard to look into the future, right? But Neurelis is committed to working with Little Angels and working with Katie and the service dogs. And as I said a little earlier, our big hope is that other industries will look at the impact of service dogs and get behind this. It is just an opportunity that is like one in a million. So that is our big hope, that Katie, you get lots more sponsorship from other industries. And we love the fact that we are the first company to collaborate
Absolutely.
and work with you. And we thank you for all that you are doing.
Thank you for helping us.
So Debbie and Lexi are here with us. And Lexi, what's your dog's name?
My name is Val.
Okay. And what is Val trained to do for you?
Val is trained to alert to my seizures as well as POTS episodes. And she's also trained for some mobility assistance since I get really weak when I have episodes.
Okay. And what do you love most about having Val?
Oh, it's hard to choose just one thing that I love the most about her. She has such a fun personality. She's so cuddly and lovable, but she's also really eager to work, and she loves what she does, and she does it with enthusiasm. So there's never a dull moment with her.
That's great. And so how did you get involved with Little Angels?
I looked on the internet of what was the best place for a young teen. She started her seizures when she was around 12, and I wanted her to be able to handle the dog, so I had to look at what organizations would allow that. And Little Angels was on one of those lists, so I just looked at what was on there and what they provided and how they did things, because I wanted to make sure that not only did she get a dog that could help her, but one that would match her. And that is something Little Angels does. And so I called them, and Katie called me back, and we just talked, and she was able to answer all my questions, and we chose Little Angels.
So how long have you had Val?
I've had Val for only a month now.
Oh, wow.
Yes, we're a very new match together, but it's been great.
And is this your first service dog?
Yes.
Okay. And how have you seen Lexi's life change by having Val?
Lexi is a very energetic person already, but when you have something like epilepsy, you can get depressed, you can get anxious, and Val has really helped Lexi through all of those times.
Yeah.
And she's more confident in herself, and she's just willing to do what she needs to do now. She's not like shy about going out and doing stuff. She's like, oh yes, I'll go to the grocery store. Let's go, Val. And it's been amazing seeing that change in her.
Yeah, I'm sure. So you started having seizures when you were 12.
Yes.
And what kind of seizures do you have?
So I've had a few different types. My seizures first started out as tonic seizures, where my arms would contract. And then shortly after, they started being partial seizures. So I've had complex and simple partial seizures. A lot of them I was aware of, but I would be locked in my body almost. So it was more of, I just couldn't move anything, but I was aware of what was going on around me. And that was honestly the scariest part of it.
Yeah.
So I have went through quite a few different types, but those were the most prevalent.
And are your seizures controlled at this point then?
For the most part, yes, they're controlled with medication, but it's never 100%.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
And how long have you been coming to Epilepsy Awareness Days?
This
your
is
first?
actually our first year.
Our very
Yes.
first
And
one.
have you found it really helpful? And what kind of things have you found really spoke to you or helped you?
This has been one of the most amazing things that I've ever gone to. I've been able to talk to surgeons. I've been able to talk to hospitals. I've been able to talk to pharmacies, where I've learned about different medications that might be better for my daughter. Being able to go to a different type of specialist that will help my daughter in, so she doesn't have all of the side effects from the medications that she has. I've been able to talk to just so many different companies that are coming out with new things, and that is what I've loved, is finding out there's so much more out there that I would have never known. I mean, doctors only know so much, and they only know what they know, and here you have everybody, and you can talk to everybody, and they will guide you and direct you, and oh, there's another booth over there, and it's been the best thing we've ever done. I am so glad we are here.
I'm sure you agree with that.
I wish I knew about this when she first started. Anybody who has a child with epilepsy should come here, because it will change your life. I wish I would have done this a long time ago.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, are you a junior or senior in high school?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
Yes.
Oh, golly. That's exciting.
It's exciting.
So you must feel like having your dog probably has renewed your future vision for yourself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually had to stop going to public school when I was in 7th grade because I was having too many episodes at school, missing too much days. So I'm online right now. But now with Val, I have hope that I can actually go to college and have some independence, you know, like any other normal person would.
Right. That's wonderful. This is what it's really all about, isn't it?
Yes.
I mean, just connecting and finding the right people to support you through this journey that you didn't ask for.
Without Val, I'm not sure I would have been okay sending her to college.
Yeah,
I don't think I would have been okay saying, yes, go somewhere without me.
Yeah.
That terrifies me, but now with Val, I know she has her dog that will always be there with her and let her know, okay, now you need a rest. And it helps me knowing she's going to be okay.
Do you have anything else you'd like to add to this interview or conversation?
Just how thankful I am for Little Angels. They've changed my life.
Yeah.
I've only had Val for 1 month, but I already can't imagine how I did this without her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I second what she says. Little Angels is like part of the family. We've known them for 5 years now, and they have helped us through the process. They answer all of our questions, and they've just been a huge support, and they're the reason why we actually found out about epilepsy awareness.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful for them for everything.
Yeah. How long did it take you from your first inquiry to getting Val?
It took us 5 years.
Really?
Yes, from the time I did all the research, and then, you know, you have to go through to your doctors and get all the paperwork, and then all the interviews, and to make sure that a dog is right for your child, because a dog is not right for everybody.
Right.
And they make sure that it's a good fit. And then once all of that happened, and then raising all of the money, and then finally getting on the list, the whole thing took about 5 years.
Wow.
But, you know,
So awesome that you
COVID
got
did
it.
happen in the middle of
Oh
that,
my
so
God.
that is one of the
Yes.
reasons why it took so long. Not everybody waits 5 years.
No, I would imagine
So
not.
I really
COVID
think it
was-
would have been maybe 2 or 3 if
Yeah.
COVID didn't hit right when
Yeah.
we started.
Okay.